Hey guys, welcome back to Cause 3D, and we're going to work on the body today. So we're just going to jump right into it and get these shoulder hubs on. They're not that tricky. One for either side. You've got your bolts that just drop into the first shoulder hub here, and then you've got this is the outermost part, and the other side here just sandwiches together. Sorry, not that way. Goes this way to hold the bolts in, and pretty simple. You just line up the key there, or at least I do. I hope that's right anyway. So we just take the shoulder hub now and we slide it in. Now the key to it, because R2's arms are back, you do have to make sure that you give it the correct tilt. And what we're going to do is come in with our longer bolts, and we're going to go clear through the body here. If I can line them up, I've got them currently in the 2 position. I don't want that. We want to go to the 3 position, which is the 3 legs. And the shoulders, or the shoulder supports on the inside, are actually labeled 2 for 2 legs, 3 for 3 legs. So we want to make sure that we are in the 3s, which we are currently. And we're just going to drop some nuts and some washers and some nuts on the inside here. Now there are 3D printed pins that you can do with this, and I'm a fan of the bolts myself because they're cheap, they're easy, and I don't worry about them failing. As far as the 3D printed pins probably won't either, because they're pretty robust. But that's just my preference. Now you can't get your hex or your bolt driver. You can't get a nut driver or anything in here. So I just take a screwdriver, find a gap on the edge of the bolt, and it just doesn't allow the bolt that way to actually spin. Don't over tighten them. Get them snug. I have played with the idea of putting Loctite on these just so that they never actually move, but I've not done it yet because I've not had a problem with it. But if I ever do, that's definitely the thing I'm going for next. So we are on, this is the A side, I believe, and the B side. I might be wrong on that. No, I believe it is A side and B side. So we're going to grab the B leg, which is back here behind me, hanging out of the way. You will notice it is sitting on a milk crate. The reason it's sitting on a milk crate is because I did install the 3rd leg prior to shooting the video, because you didn't really want to see me probably rolling on the ground trying to get that installed. And the milk crate idea is not the best idea, I will admit, because it's not very sturdy, but I know that, so I'm being extremely cautious. So let's get one of those in there so that leg doesn't fall off somehow if I bump it. And you'll notice that the legs are angled backwards, obviously, because that is how they sit. I'm not going to tighten that up too tight, just to hold this on here in case it gets bumped. It doesn't take off on me here. Go ahead and drop the other 3 nuts in. Now in the drive video for his foot drives, I did already install the motors, but I do not have them hooked up yet. I haven't decided yet exactly what kind of power supply I'm going to use on this build. My other one, I've got one that's got the large LiPo RC type car batteries, and I'm toying with the idea of using LiPo drill, like for a drill or a power tool, on this one that you can pop the back off, slide it in, slide it out of the holder. But I haven't decided which batteries yet, which that'll be in a whole different video I'm going to use. All right, grab the A. Okay, so we're going to put the A leg in here. If someone's watching this and you're like, hey, that's actually the B leg, I thought I labeled these right when I printed them. Who knows? So when you print them, make sure you label them so that you don't get confused like I typically do constantly. The great thing about this is when you have your quick connectors for your motors, you can just pop these bad boys off for travel. It is really not that much trouble. I do not know how many times I've taken R2's legs on and off, but if I had a nickel for every time I did, I'd probably have a couple bucks. Not enough to retire. All right, snug but not overly tightened. Now we're going to move over to the foot drives. So we're on B side, so we want the B drive. One mistake that I have made over the years multiple times, and I don't know why I made it, why I literally make the same mistake every time, but is when I put my legs on, I have gotten the shoulder hubs that we put on first. I have gotten those flipped before. So if your wheels are not on the ground correctly when you do it, first thing I would check is check your shoulder hubs. Literally third build of an R2, third time I've done it. I don't know why I get in such a hurry and pop them in there and think that they're right, flip them over, put them on all three legs and go, well, you're an idiot, but that's all right. It happens. Let's put in our shock absorbers here. Now, I see this asked a lot on the forums and on Facebook groups and stuff, but these TPU shock absorbers go in the ankles here, and let's see, do I have that one right? I believe I do, but I might have to move it. And when you put these in, all they do is just give a little extra cushion for it. That doesn't look right for some reason. That might be right. Anyway, we'll line them up here. But they are important to have back here, and I'll try to get a shot. Try to get a shot of them and see if I can't show you a picture here while I'm working on them. But they are rather important to keep in there. It just absorbs some of the tension that's put on from the ankle to the drive motor, and really just helps out with shock. Shocking. All right, so let's move over to side A here and drop that in as well. Again, and there is a receiving hole up here for this top nub, so you know if you get them in the right side. One thing I'll point out real quick is I've got a little bit of wobble. I've got some spacers printed already for this. Actually, let's just see if we need one or two. I've got them sitting right here. Let's just see if we need one or two spacers on this side for future reference. I'm gonna drop that in there. And you can watch me waller around for 5 minutes trying to get it lined up. Let's see. Close. So we can't get it. Oh, you're right there, buddy. Just go. Just go. And don't fall over, please. There it is. There we go. Nice and tight on that side. Oh yeah, so looks like we're just gonna need one for each side right now. It's kind of funny, they do actually wear out. I've had them wear out before. A lot of stuff to juggle while you're trying to put these together. Should give me a gift and line up. Not even close. There it is. Right there. Lower that around a bit, don't fall off. Right in. All right. So now we got his drives on. Foot shells, they're not finished yet. Close though. So I'll be installing those later on the final part of the build. So now it's kind of the moment of truth. This is where we find out if we put the shoulder hubs on correctly, which I already know I did. Get that out of the way, and yeah, so we're good. And we're not good. We're off over here. Did not get the shock absorber in the edge. That is being very difficult, and I don't know why. If you've ever built an R2, you'll know that you roll around on the ground an awful lot. Omni wheels don't fail me. Well, I'm gonna have to work on that one again here in a minute, so we'll do that off camera. Okay. Yeah, you're still sitting. Okay, got it. Just didn't have it lined up right. Couldn't do it with it pressure on the back wheel. But anyway, we're in a pretty good spot here. Everything's working as intended. All the wheels are touching, so that's good. So we're in good shape. Let's move back over to the bench. Well, that's it for today. We've got the body pretty well done, and we just got to do some wiring for the motors and figure out our electronic system on this one. But it's coming along great. I mean, we are getting close to the finish line, and I know there's a long way to go still. It doesn't look like it, but I've still got to attach the Susan and the dome. And once that gets done, if you are working on a project like this and you give up, it's all good, because you've already got, as long as you get some power to the dome lights, if you kind of follow along on the parts that I've done, no, the drive system isn't in it, but it's going to look really cool sitting in the corner of a room or something. At least, you know, you've got a full-size R2-D2. So appreciate you joining us today, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We'll keep going. The Lazy Susan's going to be coming up the pipeline, and I'm going to go into probably a lot more detail on that one, because that's the one that confuses me every time that I build one of these, is just getting that perfectly centered, spaced correctly, and everything else. So appreciate you joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video.